Hello. This is the fifth training class based on the subconscious mind. I am Tim Doyle. I am a student of the Golden Ones. The Golden Ones are the co-creator gods administrators of this spiritual training school. All souls coming to Earth are in training to become a co-creator god. The purpose of these training classes is to educate the souls on how to use the abilities, the God characteristics and abilities, God abilities that are built into the physical body for the soul to use on their path to ascension, basically. So in this training class, we're going to talk about the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is located in the third chakra. The third chakra is right above the navel, all right? And what the third chakra does, it's the subconscious mind, and it is also the location of your solar plexus. Now, the subconscious mind is the recorder device for the conscious mind. It stores the recording data from the conscious mind. So the conscious mind observes and it knows, it identifies a truth. And if it's a truth, like 1 + 1 is 2, it will submit it to the subconscious mind to be stored as a truth. If it's 2 + 5 is 3, then the conscious mind says, no, that's not a truth. So we'll not send it to the subconscious mind for a truth. Everything the conscious mind sends to the subconscious mind believes it to be a truth. All right. The subconscious mind feels that if the conscious mind sends it to the subconscious mind, it must be a truth. All right. So what the conscious mind will record is everything it sees and so forth. It records fears, guilt feelings, abusive behaviors, and knowledge as truths, and passes all this to the subconscious mind, who then passes it to the light body. When I was in Peru between one of the years 2000 and 2005, during one of the drinkings, I was shown what the light body is, and it showed an image of a body, outline of a body, and it was all filled in with light filaments, brilliant golden light filaments. But on some filaments throughout the body were sticky globs of, gummy substance, which prevented the light body from vibrating. So that's what fears and guilt feelings and unhealthy feelings pass by the conscious mind to the subconscious mind that eventually winds up on your light body. Now, you need to remove these unhealthy feelings from your light body and from your subconscious mind, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. By having these globs on your light body, the soul cannot vibrate at a higher frequency. So basically what happens is, instead of being a ping sound, you vibrate at a plunk. All right. So if the strings on your light body have these gluey things on it, it's a plunking sound, which doesn't vibrate very high. And if it's not vibrating, it can't draw from the universe the things that the soul wants to manifest in their creation process. So we need to clean our light body, and we'll talk about that a little later. Also, your subconscious mind is, before you came to Earth, you were guided by the heart of God, which is from your solar plexus. Your solar plexus is the nerve. It's solar because it's the center. It's the nerve center of the body. And your solar plexus sends out like tentacles out into your surrounding fields, and it's like your perception. So, for an example, if you walk into a room and there's a crowd of people, and you feel like someone there doesn't like you, or you pick up on the feelings of other, and you can't substantiate it with your conscious mind, but your feeling body feels it. So you would need to pay attention to your feeling body. But what happens is when the soul comes to earth, and throughout their previous carnations, they have paid attention to their solar plexus and the guidance from the heart of God. When you come to earth, you start paying more attention to the conscious mind, because this is what the soul is now being, I won't say controlled by, but it is the instrument that gives the soul, that satisfies the soul's desires. Before, it would be the desires would come from your feeling body, and the heart of God would guide you how to fulfill those desires. Now your desires may come into the conscious mind by thinking, how can I build a house? How can I get a better job? How can what should I eat for dinner tonight? So your conscious mind takes over the majority of the creation process in the soul. Eventually, the soul is going to have to attune both the heart and mind of God to the God frequency within you before you can ascend. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. We'll talk about it now. We have a program on the homepage of the website, www.thepathtowoneness.com. There's the Master Ascension Program. Now, the purpose of the Master Ascension Program is it's a 28-day program. It's to guide the soul in discipline, becoming more aware of what they're thinking and what they're feeling. It's a 28-day program. It's not demanding at all. Back in the 80s, when it was taught to me, before I had the tools that are available now to overcome some of the obstacles in this Master Ascension Program, I had to use willpower to overcome the obstacles. But the Master Ascension Program was taught to me back into the 80s to teach me to attune to the God frequency in the brain. In your brain, there are thousands of frequencies available to the soul. There could be frequencies that if you want to learn about ants or animals or bears or tigers or lions or wolves or bacon or planning or cooking or building, you can tap into any of those frequencies. The main frequency is the God frequency. That's the frequency that universal mind is always talking to the soul, guiding the soul in every moment. Sometimes the soul will listen and they'll hear their thought. Where do thoughts come from? You ever stop and think, where do my thoughts come from? They come from universal mind. Sometimes we listen to our thoughts, and sometimes we don't listen to our thoughts. Sometimes we listen to the sensual desires in our body, and we do what our body wants, not what our heart and mind wants for the good of the soul. All right. So the Master Ascension Program is on the website to assist the soul in attuning to the universal mind, or I call the God frequency within the brain. All right. Now, what else is in the subconscious mind is when the soul is created in the image and likeness of God, within the soul are all the God characteristics. It's like a seed falling from the tree. A seed has all the characteristics of the tree within the seed. And when the seed is planted, it sprouts into a tree exactly like where the seed came from. Well, all God's children are embedded with God characteristics. These God characteristics are not activated until you come to this earth training school. Once you come to the earth training school, you receive your conscious mind is activated, your subconscious mind is activated, your connection with universal mind is activated, and we have raw emotional aspects in the solar plex, in your feeling body. And in your feeling body, through life's experiences, these raw emotions are activated. And the emotions have control of the soul. And the soul knows this. The soul knows that when anger breaks out, that he has no control over the anger. They're called emotions because it's energy in motion, like blowing up a balloon and then letting the balloon go. You just cannot predict where the balloon's going to land. It's energy in motion. Same thing for when you activate an emotion, whether it's an emotion to eat, emotion to steal, an emotion of greed, of hunger, of lust, of anger. It gets activated and it has control over the soul. Control over the soul, where the soul just surrenders to it, or it knows it may not be right, but it's enjoying it so much that it doesn't stop to think about it until after it satisfies the desire that the emotion has created. Once the emotion is satisfied, then it calms down. We all know that. If you like ice cream, like I used to like ice cream, I could eat a gallon of ice cream, and not until I finished the gallon would I say, "Oh, why did I do that?" All right. Eventually, I learned only to eat a half a gallon of ice cream. Joking. All right. So the life experience activates these emotions, and through life experiences, the soul learns to discipline these emotions. Now, what causes these emotions to be uncontrollable is the emotion knows it needs to get to the brain. Once the emotion finds the pathway from the solar plexus to the brain, it's transmuted into a feeling. So let's say that anger is a emotion, and once you discipline that anger and it finds a gateway from the solar plexus to the brain through the nerve pathways, which are millions of them, it's controlled, it gets to the brain, and it's converted into not anger, but into peace, right? So that's the purpose of these God characteristics, is they have to be converted into not an emotion that has control of man, but it has to be transmuted into a God feeling, which the soul has control over. And of course, the soul will want to express the God feeling: peace, love, compassion, truth, harmony, balance, order, and unity. All right. So some souls may still be controlled by these emotional anxieties. They're looking for the pathway to go from the solar plexus to the brain, and on its way, it causes a frustration or uncontrollable action in the person. It creates an energy where the soul wants to just can't stand just holding back in it. It releases the energy that the emotion is causing through an action, a violent action, or violent words, or something. Usually words and actions will release the emotion, the energy created by the emotion, all right? And then it stops. Well, that is one of the worst things you can do if you really want to control the emotion. Okay? What you need to do is just sit still and allow that energy to find its way to the pathway. Once you say something or you take an action and you release that energy that the emotion is creating within the body, it stops. It stops the pathway. It stops the emotion from searching further for the pathway because it's been exhausted. All right. So what you need to do is do nothing. There's 2 occasions in my life where I had to do nothing and allow this frustrating, agonizing feeling just to continue. And it's not like 5 or 10 minutes. It may take an hour, may take less than an hour, depending how much further previously that emotion journeyed from the solar plexus to the brain. We created a meditation cure for emotional anxiety on the website. And that's exactly what it's called. Meditation cure for emotional anxiety, and where we guide you to create a meditative state and then to activate the emotion in your mind, in your feelings, and just sit there and allow the emotion to continue its journey to the brain. I haven't heard anybody test this meditation out yet. The meditation was given to me by the Golden Ones based on what I experienced in Peru in a situation here in the States. I say this here in the States. I'm not in the States. I'm in China. But in the United States, I had to experience it. And it's you have to discipline the body and the expression of the emotion to allow the emotion to continue its pathway to the brain. All right. There's something else I want to talk about. All the teachings, let's see, these teachings are on the website, www.thepathtowoneness.com. All the teachings are from the Golden Ones or either from life experiences. I had to also experience all the teachings from the Golden Ones. They would channel something to me, and then through the day or through the days, I would experience the situation they channeled. And so I could verify that it was the truth. I've had other experiences, visitations, several visitations from the Lords of Amente, Thoth, Arcturians, or seventh dimension beings, spiritual beings who have mastered the emotions. In fact, they're the ones that have called let me get back up here on my notes here. When I was in Peru and I experienced the light body with all these globby, sticky, gummy things on the filaments of the body, that was probably back in, like I said, middle 2000, maybe let's say 2004. Then I was given this vision, and so I knew what it was. I knew it was the light body, and I knew these globs. Then while I was in in Australia in 2012, I was at a conference, a spiritual conference, and Thoth, the Egyptian god, came through, and he gave the prayer to remove these unhealthy feelings from the light body. Well, I took the prayer home and I was working with it, and while working with the prayer, I was visited by the Arcturians, seventh dimension beings, and they explained to me that these feelings, unhealthy feelings of guilt, fear, abusive feelings, any unhealthy feelings are actually parasites. Their job, they were created, their job is to attach to a soul and to prevent the soul from vibrating to a higher frequency. They were created not by God beings, okay? But they're part of the training that goes on here in Earth. And it's part of the training that the soul has to overcome and learn how to master the control of these emotional parasites and to become aware of them, which you'll learn in the Master Ascension program. So the Arcturians told me that these emotional parasites, once they're on your light body, they interact with the mind of the soul. So let's say, for an example, that you have a fear of water. And you say, no, I'm afraid of the water, and maybe I'll just do this emotional parasite prayer and get rid of this fear. Well, the emotional parasite, the entity of it, will interfere with your thinking and say, come on now, why do you want to get rid of this fear? It will try to stop you from removing the fear from your light body. All of them do, right? The fear entity, the parasite, believes that if you remove it from your light body, then they won't assist anymore. But what you're doing is when you do the prayer, you put your left hand on your solar plex, your right hand on your heart. So you're bringing the negative and unhealthy feeling of this fear from your solar plex, from their original state, and you're bringing it into a loving state where they will be released, all right? So you're not damaging, you're not killing anything, you're transmuting it in from one phase of existence to another phase, an uplifting, loving phase. So think about that you're converting it from black to white, right? We won't use good to evil and so forth. Now, there's something else I want to say at this moment. So we've got the emotional parasites. We talked about the spiritual beings, and so we'll leave it at that point right now. Anything else? Let me check. No, I don't think there's anything else at this point in time. I think we covered the major points. So we welcome you to come to the website. We put up many tools there to assist the soul on their journey to their ascension, on their spiritual path. If you have any questions, I do consultations. They're on my website, free consultations. You can contact me, and we can have a discussion. If something is bothering you, or you have questions or doubts, or you just want to discuss something, or if you have a challenge you want assistance from the Golden Ones to guide you with, all right? So with that in mind, y'all have a blessed day, and we'll say goodbye. All right, much love to all. Bye-bye. See all the teachings of the Golden Ones at the YouTube channel, Timothy Doyle, The Golden Ones, or visit us at www.thepathtowoneness.com. Also visit us on Facebook at The Path to Oneness.